This is John. What's the address emergency?
Hi, there is an emergency. I found something in my son's closet wrapped in a plastic bag.
Okay, what was it?
I think it's a human head.
It's a what?
I think it's a human head.
Brian Cohee, who was 19 years old at the time, murdered and dismembered 69-year-old Warren Barnes, a homeless man, in February 2021 in Grand Junction, Colorado.
Right, here's a leg. That could be the upper arm or a leg.
Well, there's three. There, and there.
What in the world does he have in here? And I picked it up, and it was heavy. And I held it in my hands, and I was like, what in the world is this? What in the world? Is it like maggots covering something? Or I don't know. I better take it in the sink. So I carried it out to the sink, and it was double bagged. So I ripped open one bag, and I saw old blood. Okay. And I went, I ripped open the second bag, and I saw the bag. Okay. I saw zero. So I didn't open the second bag. Okay.
And how did you get here?
I murdered someone.
Okay.
During the police questioning, Thomas Cohee exhibited remarkable composure and maintained a composed demeanor throughout the interrogation process.
Yeah, it was the night of February 27th. It was a full moon. And I figured, I can see so well, why not drive out? I was cruising. So, yeah, there was a road underneath, right?
Uh-huh.
Out under the overpass. And I was driving along, and I see a shape here on the railway track. So I'm like, oh, interesting. So I go up, and as I'm looking, I see a large thing wrapped in a canvas.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's a homeless person. So I grab my knife, I put on 3 layers of gloves, because plastic gloves can betray their users because they're so thin, those vinyl gloves, by imprinting your fingerprints through. So I put on 3 on one hand. I took the knife, I pulled back the canvas, and I stabbed his neck.
Okay.
He was panicking at first. In his old man's voice, he was in his 50s. I know why I call him an old man. He was saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why? Ah! And I just kept on stabbing his neck. Is it okay if I do a demonstration?
Oh, yeah.
This is him. I was straddled on top of him like this.
Okay.
And he couldn't fight back. It was actually surprisingly easy. I was barely breaking a sweat. I thought, oh, this guy, he's going to be tough. But no, it was actually surprisingly easy. And during the time, I was growling and making animalistic noises.
Why were you doing that?
I suppose it was a frenzy.
Okay.
I was so excited, so rushed up on adrenaline and everything. Like this. Woo-hoo! And I paused, and he said, why are you doing this? And I said, I've been wanting to do this for a long fucking time. Murder someone. And then I continued. The whole ordeal lasted about a minute and a half.
Okay.
And I stabbed, and when I was finished stabbing him, he took out his last breath, a grunt, and his head was halfway cut off in stabs. All the while, no, actually, after I killed him, I just couldn't stop saying, stinky, dirty, dirty, stinky, stinky. I wasn't smelling anything, but...
Then why were you saying that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after that, I stripped his clothes. I cut open his belly to see his guts. They're really pink. Sorry, that was morbid. Then I cut off his head. I gave him a Glasgow smile.
What's that?
A Joker smile. I I destroyed his eyes by stabbing them.
Okay.
And then I cut off his hands. I put those in plastic Ziploc bags. And then I cut off his right arm at this joint
Okay.
and at this joint. And then at this arm, I tried cutting it here, and then I tried cutting it here. But what happened was, I accidentally broke his bone. This one, it was poking out.
Okay.
And so I left that one here, partially cut, dismembered here, bone sticking out. And then I left his body there. And then I took the head, put it in a leftover box from the dinner a few nights ago. And then I took the hands, put them in the back, drove home, hid the hands and head in my room, cleaned the knife, threw away the garbage with the blood on it.
Judge Richard Gurley said after 37 years of serving different capacities in the court system, including 16 years as a judge, this is one of the most horrific cases he's ever experienced. Judge Gurley sentenced Cohee to the rest of his natural life in prison, plus 13 and a half years without parole.